This is your 2020 Mazda CX-5, mostly a carryover model except for a couple of things, and we'll see half of those up front. So Quirks, Perks, and Irks, still a good looking design. What is different is Mazda has introduced a 360 camera on the signature trim. There is 25% of it. They've also given front and rear parking sensors. There's one, there's the other on this side. They're also on that side and the rear of the vehicle. Irk, I wish that was an LED, kind of like the day runners are, as well as your regular lights. Maybe they'll address that in the next generation. And a bit of a perk, there's that nice design line right there. 19-inch wheels on the top trim signature. There's a quarter look at it. Nice big turn signals in the side mirror. Small irk for me. It's a Mazda thing, but the door handle right there and the door handle right there, not quite fully aligned. I wish they were, but you know, I understand why it's not, but just the need for symmetry in my life says that's a bit of a quirk slash irk. Here's a weird one. Silver trim all along the door line, on up halfway here, and then the rest of it's black. I wish all of it was either black or chrome slash silver. It looks kind of cool, but you know, again, the need for things to be symmetrical for me specifically, would like them to be all one color. Let's go around the rear. Halogen turn signal, bit of an irk, wish that was LED, especially on the top trim, but you get LED lights here for your accents as well. Taking a look at the rear, twin tailpipes, there's the symmetry I'm looking for. Again, this is the signature top trim, so you get the all-wheel drive and the Sky Active G. Let's jump into the trunk, not quite literally, but you know what I mean. So I'll put your cargo figures up here. And the cool thing, this is what I really like, there are two different options for your seats to go down on the driver's side. So you pull the one further back and your ski pass-through goes down instead of having this whole thing go down. If you want that seat down, you just pull that lever. A little more. I think something's on the seat, but maybe we can push it down. Oh, there we go. And to get your passenger side rear seat down, simply pull this. That's a lot quicker. So that's what you're looking at. Again, cargo figures on the screen. All right, that's going to wrap the outside up. Let's jump inside and take a look at the 2020 Mazda CX-5. Taking a look inside the 2020 CX-5, I really like how Mazda has made the most out of the center part of the seat. So you pull it down and you get your cup holders as well as your heated seats for your rear passengers, all get 3 stages. And then you lift up the little storage cubby and you get 2 out of 4 possible USB ports. Other 2 are in the center console. So I really like how Mazda's done that. You get reclining seats. Now it's not a lot, it's only 2 steps. This is where it's all the way forward and this is the way it's all the way back. So a little bit of space, but on longer road trips, you can see from a better angle there, that little bit of space can make a world of difference. And if you want to put your seats down from here, simply pull and it goes all the way down. Taking a look up front from the rear seats, that's what your passengers are going to see. And let's jump in and see what the driver will see. So there's a good look right there. Again, very, very nice, clean design. And I've always liked that about Mazda. They're not overcomplicating things. So here are your actual seats, Napa leather on the top trim. Not bad for thigh bolsters, and really, really good, as usual, for Mazda for your side bolsters. So really, really nice job there. A bit of a quirk, you got your memory seats right there. Sorry, camera didn't move as fast as I wanted it to. So they're there instead of on the door. I like that. Nice silver finishes there for your seat adjustments. Let's jump in. This will be pretty quick because, again, it's a carryover model and we've done it before, but let's just take a look. So digital dial in the middle, flanked by 2 analog dials. And thank you, Mazda, for giving me old school options for miles as well as kilometers, and just really, really nice touch there. A bit of an irk, a couple of blank panel switches. That's how you get your 360 camera activated. I'll show you that right now. So there it is, 360 on the right and front view on the left. Now, if I pop it into reverse, you can see that it goes full reverse camera, but you just push that little red button and now you have your 360 on the right as well as your rear view camera on the left. Let's put it back in park. Nice small steering wheel, feels good. Bit of an irk, the steering wheel heater. Sorry, I shouldn't have stumbled on that. Steering wheel heater is on, but that part is heated up to there. So basically that stitch line up to that stitch line. This is not heated at all, and neither is the bottom portion. I get it. Keep your hands in safe spots, but just not everyone drives with their hands around here. So personally speaking, I think it's fine. Some people may not like it, but hey, that's their prerogative on that. Nice wood finishes there. Again, I don't really care for wooden cars. Not a secret if you've watched any of my other reviews, but whatever. Nice double stitching to add a nice little touch of finesse there, and kind of carries on all the way throughout. So you have your 8-inch screen here. Lower trim models get a 7-inch screen. I think that's an Irk. I think they should have just gone for a straight 8-inch touchscreen all around. So I wanted to change the channel. I can do that. I can do that. Or you can go to your little control station here, and that's how you can navigate all your things. It goes left, it goes right, it goes down. Volume button is there. Took me a while to get used to. The number of times I've turned the heater dial instead of the volume. A little embarrassing, but I'll admit it. I'm okay with that. As mentioned, your 2 other USB ports. I will quickly turn around, not too fast, so I don't make you dizzy. Are right down there, as well as another power outlet. Let's get that in focus. There we go. You can see the 2 ports right there. Let's carefully get the microphone out. Sorry about that, viewers. Again, aside from the 360 camera, which I've showed you already, and the front and rear parking sensors, this is, again, a carryover model. Still looks really, really nice. I like just how the clean layout just adds to the simplicity of the vehicle, and I really like how Mazda's done that. And there's like small little details. Instead of making this flat, Mazda's kind of added that element of 3D in there, and you can see just what I'm talking about from that angle. Electronic parking brake and your auto hold are there. You get a sunroof, not a panoramic, but I don't know if we really need one. Let's keep that open. Let's get some natural light in here. LED interior lights as well, and a beautiful frameless rear view mirror with your 3 options for your garage door opener. Aside from that, nothing's really wrong with the interior of the CX-5. It looks great. It feels great. Napa leather feels extra good, so full marks there. Start stop button is front facing, so you can see it. I wouldn't have minded if they kind of tucked it in there and maybe over a little bit. Again, just out of sight, but I can see why they put it there. Just looking at it, it just not quite adds a symmetrical look, but it just adds to the design of this part of the vehicle. Cooled seats come as well with the top trim signature. I am not using them, even though it is March 22nd. It's unusually cold today. HVAC controls are nice and easy to use. Now, I do think, as far as predictions go, that for the next generation CX-5, they're going to do what they did with the CX-30 and new Mazda 3 by turning that into a nice 8.8-inch horizontally opposed screen, duck it down, put a little bit of storage in there, and just simplify all of these HVAC controls. They're pretty easy to work with today, and I just can't wait for what they're going to do with the next generation. All right, that's going to wrap up the inside. Let's get... I went too far trying to press my luck without mistakes. Let's do the drive. 2020 Mazda CX-5. The top trim signature comes with a 2.5 turbo 4 engine, and if you put 87 octane in, you get 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. If you put in 93 octane, you get 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. So you get a boost by putting some of the better grade gas in. If you go with some of the lower trims, you get 187 horsepower and a 186 pound-feet of torque, and that's through a 2.5 non-turbo engine. And then there's the diesel option for those of you that are into that kind of stuff. As it says, they've used upgraded materials on the interior, and that gives you a quieter experience, so you can hear conversations better and you can hear your music better. And speaking of music, the signature trim comes with a 10-speaker Bose audio system, which sounds really, really nice. As far as standard equipment goes, for all of the CX-5s, you get LED headlights, you get LED day runners, rain sensing wipers, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, smart city brake support, and heated seats, which come in 3 stages for your front 2 passengers. As far as the signature goes, the difference there is you get cooled seats, and a couple of other things like an adaptive front lighting system and heads-up display. My take overall on the driving impressions are that it gets full marks. I've loved driving the CX-5 throughout the week. And it just has that Mazda feel and design and engineering to it. And, you know, yes, I like having the signature trim because it has a lot more power in it as opposed to the non-turbo engine. But feel and responsiveness are just crisp and they're great. There's very little oversteer, very little understeer, and that's something I've always liked about Mazda. Cornering handling is great. Acceleration is tremendous. And yeah, it's just an overall really, really good vehicle to drive, and that's what Mazda really pushes home. So, what you get with this is, this being the signature, and actually you get this on the GS and the GT, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, radar cruise control, smart city brake support, pedestrian detection, forward obstruction warning, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, high beam control. So, it's really, really good. And here is my small piece of advice for Mazda. Get rid of the entry-level GX trim. I understand why it's there. It gets potential customers in the door. And it's like that for any manufacturer. It's not just Mazda. But I think Mazda's doing it just to have a CX-5 under $30,000. It runs at $27,950 as far as today's pricing, which is March 22nd, 2020. That price could change. But you run all the way up to $41,900, and that's what it's going to cost for the top trim signature. So to get all these possible benefits as far as safety goes and features go on the GS, GT, and signature, which are the top three, whereas the GX is your entry-level trim, I think they should just get rid of it and, you know, maybe drop the GS from $30,950 down to $29,999 just for the optics aspect of that. And I think it would help because it's right now between the GX at $27,950 and the signature at $41,900. Sorry. Sorry about that. There's a $13,950 difference. So almost 14 grand. You know, my 2 cents is just to do that. I think it is going to have a new generation coming out in the next couple of years. I think it's going to look great. I think it's going to be great because Mazda has just consistently pumped out wonderful vehicles. But for now, until we get there, the current generation is still fun to drive, and it's got a lot of great interior features, comfortable seats, lots of cargo space, great looks inside and out, very smartly laid out infotainment system as far as your center console and your dashboard. Rated at 10.8 for the city, 8.7 for the highway, for a blended total of around 9.7. I've got 10.6 on my specific reading. I've done about 300-ish kilometers. So pretty much a little over, but a lot of my driving has been city driving. So that's why it's a little higher. I think if I did a little more on the highway or rural driving, it'd be a lot lower. All right, that's going to wrap up the review on the 2020 CX-5. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be back soon. I'll be back. I've been saying that like Arnold Schwarzenegger lately, and it hasn't been intentional, but I will return sooner than I'll be back sooner than later with my next car review. Yeah, just stick to the basics, Jay.